staged bombings. That's the exact headline. That's a UPI headline I just gave you from 2003. Look it up. Now, what am I getting at here? Governments, period, are manipulated by the globalists in a standard corporate worldwide fascist plan. Oligarchical, how do you pronounce it? Oligarchical. I've been having trouble with that word. Oligarchical collectivism, where they're oligarchs and royal and palaces with jet copters and unlimited wealth, but you're a communist or a socialist living in a slave pit. And they dance around calling it liberal all day. That's the plan. And the public's so dumbed down in the slave pit in cardboard boxes, they just know the helicopters fly over and dump food out once a month. So they're like, I love Obama. That's why they want the third world collapsing into us. It's a total plan. It's working beautifully. Are we smart enough to realize the plan and do something about it? Jay in Texas, thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Yeah, nice to talk to you, Alex. I've been listening to you for about 6 years. I am in law enforcement. Don't really want to get into what branch. I think a lot of what's going on here and a lot of, I guess, in total, what's happening to our country and around the world basically is going to continue until somehow somebody comes up with some type of communication device that can't be tracked by the same people listening to the conversation right here and right now. With all the things that are taking place here, it's very hard to fight tyranny when you can't communicate freely without someone else listening to everything you do or watch everything.
That's right. The globalists at the top that are less than 1% of the government and the corporations, nevertheless in control, have a panopticonic total surveillance view. The way to beat that is either a separate communication system, but then they would discover that and track it. The way to beat it is a swarm effect where everybody starts doing little things every day. Everybody starts telling the truth. Everybody starts making a stand, and then everybody steps forward. It's kind of like the movie scene we've all seen that's based on a lot of true things. They draw the line in the sand, and they say, who's going to step forward? And one guy finally steps forward, and then 2, and then 5, and then 10. And then suddenly everybody steps across. That's what the system is afraid of. And that's what's been holding back their New World Order is good people in federal and state and local government. That's why the globalists want to go to pure corporate government where they are just completely above the law. That's why they want to go to paramilitary police wearing masks so they can bring in mercenaries like was done up in Missouri. Go ahead. Other points about what you see happening in the world.
Well, I just think people need to understand that people in law enforcement are very aware of what's taking place in this country. We have lemmings in our profession like everybody else. But for the most part, people are very awake to what's happening here. It's kind of hard not to see it after IRS and NSA and everything else has been uncovered that was conspiracy even 3 years ago. But there are a lot of good people out here. They're awake. They know what's going on. And we took an oath. I mean, it's that simple. And there's many of us that are not going to go away from that oath. And it really doesn't matter what happens. We're not going to go away from the oath we took, period. So I just want people to understand that there are good people in law enforcement.
I know that, the vast majority. And then that's why, as I've gotten more sophisticated the last 10 years, I've stated that because in my experience, I figured out the media showing all the bad examples on purpose so that, and they are egregious, so they can create that separation. God bless you, and I appreciate your call. I'm going to tell the police something, and I know you're smart, you understand this, especially if you're not a greenhorn. Do you think if Homeland Security under the globalist, under Obama, says veterans are the #1 terror threat, who do you think they're not putting on that list? Who's just like the veterans? In fact, who is mainly veterans? Imagine the Jeopardy music's playing in the background. Do 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 dun 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 dun. Cops. They're afraid of anybody that's masculine or anybody that's willing to engage, anybody who's not a coward, anybody who's not naive, anybody that's red-blooded. That's why they want the general public domesticated. They only want to use the warrior class long enough to take over, and they're going to replace everybody with combat robots, which is now happening. So that's it. This is the main fight for humanity happening right now, and it's real. I bet you were listening 6 years ago, buddy, and thought I was nuts. Not too nuts now. It's the world that's crazy. More calls coming up.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-6805. That's 1-800-281-6805. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-6805. That's 1-800-281-6805.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his 2-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. SilverLungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at SilverLungs.com. That's SilverLungs.com.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
I'm going to say it again for new listeners. We have a lot of new affiliates across the country, like Oklahoma City. You'll hear stuff on this show that sounds completely nuts. And I do deliver it kind of in a crazy way sometimes because I'm freaked out about all this. I cover stuff too much. I work too much. I've been doing this 19 years, and quite frankly, it's gotten to me. So I've gotten kind of cynical and nasty about it all. But I'm not cynical in my heart. I will act cynical on air, and I've kind of psychoanalyzed it. It's because it hurts me. And only having gallows humor makes me feel better. Because I get mad about the evil. I get upset about the attempt to corrupt our civilization by design to make us weak. And then I read all these globalist documents that we've covered on air where they admit they're trying to make us dumb down and weak. Society has enough problems without trying to screw everybody over. And we're converting to a civilization based on fraud, not based on productivity. Sciences of scams, sciences of deception. That's the point we've gotten to. And nobody's perfect. Also, the public has had it easy so long comparatively, where our ancestors would starve to death if they made mistakes, that statistics, I'm going to cover this later, do show we're getting dumber. Just like the movie Idiocracy with a guy who's got 185 IQ, Mike Judge. That guy's a rocket scientist. He designed a lot of the F-18. He also wrote that movie about people were getting stupider and stupider. And that's basically what's happened now. And then that kind of goes towards the globalist statement that, well, see, the public's dumbed down, get rid of them. But you're trying to dumb them down even more. You're not trying to reverse any of it. And the answer is, well, that wouldn't help them anyways. Okay, well, here's the deal. I don't want to be a slave. I don't want fluoride in my water. The Harvard study says it gives me brain damage, gives me cancer. I don't want your forced medication. I'm free. I don't want open borders. I don't want to pay for all the illegals. Leave me alone. I don't want my kids forcibly inoculated. Well, why? Well, because governments have a history of secret testing and putting stuff in them, and there's a lot of evidence that vaccines are giving people autism and brain damage, and the inserts say that. So I don't trust you, and here's why. We're going to go to Jim in Florida, and Matthew and Michael and Bob and Phil and others. Clive and Bunny's going to pop in with an update here in a moment. Please don't forget, this hour is brought to you by mypatriotsupply.com/Alex. Super high quality, non-GMO storable foods. Just wonderful customer service, 866-229-0927. Tell them Alex Jones sent you, and they'll tell you about the day's specials or month specials. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex. Food independence has never been more important than these unstable times. And if we right the ship and it's not needed, great. But government and corporations are digging in like we're about to go to Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Who runs Thunderdome? Master Blaster runs Thunderdome. Who runs the world? Goldman Sachs runs the world. And by calling them out, it's the beginning of the end of their banking dictatorship. Bunch of narcotics, money laundering, New World Order, stock market fixing, globalist trash. I see them. I know what they've done, and I'm not their slave, and I'm declaring it. That's the beginning of the end of the New World Order. When you recognize it, 2 + 2 = 4. I don't care what Obama says, and I know tyranny when I see it, and I'm not going along with it. I'm angry. I'm alive. I'm awake. You want to call that weird? You're the weirdos that want to go along with it. Jim in Florida, thanks for calling. You're on the air.
Hi, Alex. I have a suggested mission that I'd like to propose to you.
Okay.
And that would be to call John McAfee to see if he'd volunteer to retrieve the missing IRS emails, which are, quote, too onerous a task, unquote, for the IRS programmers. I mean, after all,
by the way, we know their systems were on cloud backups by law. They have to keep the records for 10 years. We have to keep them for 7. We all know where it's at and the corporation. They're just stonewalling Congress. But, yeah, McAfee should come out and point out how it's a fraud because he's well known. Let's get him on. That's a good idea. Go ahead.
Well, the other thing, Alex, is the last time he was on, he volunteered for free to fix Obamacare. That website, that horrible debacle of a website. And that would be an enormous task. I mean, this thing would be a piece of cake for McAfee to take care of, to find those emails. And if he came on air and publicly and said, look, I'll find them for you for nothing.
That's a genius idea. Bottom line, it'd be a great stunt to point out that they're hidden in plain view. Well, in fact, we should do a report, because I've read all the articles. It's admitted in the news. They know right where it's all at. They're destroying BlackBerries there's copies of, the hard drives. Sorry, guys, it's on an email server. The email's not kept on the hard drive. It's on a government-contracted email server, saved for 10 years by federal law.
We're on the march.
And by the way,
the empire
they never